IBC is a new legislation. It's 1 year old. We celebrated its first birthday on 1st of December 2017 since the notification of IBC, and it has come up, it has started at a very fast pace, and all the participants, all the stakeholders in a very vigorous manner, in a very robust manner are taking advantage of this new legislation. The legislation primarily is to ensure that the creditors who were holding back and were not being able to recover their dues over a period of time now been empowered by the new legislation, and they are able to take the entire thing in their own hand. The reins of the process of recovery of money is now in the hands of the creditors, and more than 450 cases has been admitted in the NCLT, and at a very fast pace process is going on. The RBI nudged the banks, the SBI, and started off with the 12 largest cases in the country, the largest NPA cases in the country, which together accounted for more than 25% of the entire NPA stock of India in the first instance, and those 12 cases have reached a stage of about 180 days now. A lot of proposals are coming forward, and we see that there is a very robust interest in various investors, strategic investors, financial investors, private equity funds who are interested in taking over the company. On 13th, the last date for another 28 cases which have been referred by the RBI to the banks, that if they cannot resolve it by 13th of December must also be taken to NCLT, will also come forward. That will account for another 25% of the NPA stock in the country. By these two master strokes, the RBI has brought in more than 50% of the NPA of this country into the NCLT. Even though the number of companies may be smaller, it is almost 40 companies, but they account for almost 50% of the NPA stock. There is another development that has taken place on a policy front, that an ordinance was promulgated on 23rd of November 2017, and as per this ordinance, all the people who were fraudulent, who were defrauders, who had defrauded the banks and financial institutions, taken money, not repaid them, and people who were otherwise not eligible to make bids, purely on a ground that a person who has gamed the system should not be able to take advantage of the system. So they have been disqualified, and that has created a major issue, and there's a lot of discussion on this issue which is going on, and it is thought that after the ordinance, enactment will be placed in the parliament, in the winter session of the parliament, for the purpose of modification of the NCLT by keeping these people out. However, while on the one hand the policy decision that people who have gamed the system and are fraudulent promoters are being kept out, it is equally important to ensure that a proper calibrated system is put in place. Bona fide promoters who have defaulted on account of entrepreneurship, because with every entrepreneurship there is risk, and if there is risk there is going to be default. So we have to keep process in place where only the fraudulent people, the willful defaulters, and people who have committed fraud against the banks and taken away monies and siphoned away the monies are kept out of the IBC process. But at the same time, bona fide promoters and entrepreneurs are encouraged to participate and take risk and will not be shamed and kept out of the system. Is the crying need of the hour. After the ordinance does not take any time frame or does not provide any time frame. The time frame is provided under section 12 of the IBC, which is 180 days, which is extendable by another 90 days to 270 days. So that's the maximum time. If the case is not resolved within that period, it will be taken to liquidation. Till today, there are 6 cases which have been resolved, out of which 5 cases have been resolved by the existing promoters, and there is only one case which has been sanctioned by the NCLT New Delhi yesterday, where the third party has come in, thrown out the existing promoter and come in as a new management for takeover of the company.